have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Endorsed Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got
So spooky dooky, spooky dooky.
You have arrived.
I've arrived at spooky dooky. Look at that ghost. Very spooky. Spooky indeed. Boy, they got some Halloween going on around here, boy. They go serious. Look at that. I'm here to claim your soul. You can call me Spooky Dookie.
Today is today. And yesterday was today yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today. So the future today will be as the past today as it is tomorrow.
Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. So that all been said, December said she sounds like a drunken kabami. Okay. All right. So everyone, please get the likes up. All right. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. Also, please double check to make sure that you're still subscribed, especially if you haven't been receiving those notifications. And also, as per usual, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, then ask yourself, why are you here? All right, goodness rated Bo is in the house. Lillian X, Sophie B, December, Claudette. All right, Pamela, I see you. That crazy beach Aries. Okay, let's get into it. Vince, I am from the UK. Sophie, all hell nah is in the house. All right, Buckhorse DC, Jeff ATL. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Okay, Darnell is here. So let's get started. Y'all know the Queen is late as usual. Hey, G from the land. Now, with that all been said, we're going live on the backup channel. We're going live on the backup channel after this, so everyone please stay tuned. And with that all being said, let's get into it. Because these people have lost their minds. First of all, you have Senator George Lang, I believe from Ohio, calling for a whole civil war. That's what he said. He said that, in fact, if Trump doesn't win, then there might be a civil war. Now, I find this all interesting. And then right afterwards, he came back and said that he regretted the comments. I don't think he regretted the comments. I think that he got backlash. And so he came back and tried to backpedal. Okay, he said exactly what he meant. And I want you to pay attention to the rhetoric and the dog whistles that they send out as it pertains to Trump. Now, months ago, Trump said something about there would be a bloodbath. Okay, basically alluding to the fact that if he didn't win, there'd be a bloodbath. And we already know what happened during that insurrection. They had that insurrection. And then they tried to gloss over and act like he didn't mean anything nefarious when he said bloodbath. Why would he choose those colorful words? Okay, that reek of violence. Okay, please pay attention. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now I'm going to play the audio of him saying it, and then we'll go to what he said after the fact when he claims to have regretted saying what he in fact said. Okay, here we go.
Fight! Fight! We got time. Come on. Hey, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation. We are in a fight for our kids and our grandkids, a fight that we can never imagine. I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the Bikers for Trump on our side.
47% of people said in a recent poll that they're fearful of civil war in this country. Do you feel like we're close to that?
I mean, yes. Yeah.
In what way? I mean, we can't have a land war like we had in the 1860s, probably, right?
Well, illegal immigrants, it's going to happen no matter what.
The 47% of Americans in a recent poll said that they think there could be civil war in this country. Do you see that?
I'm in the Army. I don't want that. I don't want civil war.
Are you active duty?
I'm National Guard, but I'm going deployment this November of this year. And I don't want civil war. People is talking about war and things like that. People who don't know nothing about it. This is something that should never happen. I hope it never happen,
Yeah.
because civil war or any type of war is a horrible thing. A lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to...
Okay, so just to give you a taste of what they're saying. All right, calling for a civil war. This is what they expect. Should Trump lose? So basically making threats. If Trump doesn't win, here's what we're going to do. Just like they did with that whole Capitol insurrection. Please pay attention. Now, of course, as I said, the senator did come out and issue an apology. Please. All right. And so anyway, here's what they say. An Ohio state senator has issued a groveling apology after he said it would take a civil war to save the country if Republicans lose to Democrats in the 2024 presidential election. Now, at a rally in Middletown, Ohio on Monday, Republican State Senator George Lang took to the stage before Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, Donald Trump's newly named running mate. Lang's remarks began with chants of fight, 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 echoing Trump's chant in the immediate aftermath of an assassination attempt before he dived into his speech in support of Vance and the former president, saying, I'm not even going to repeat what he said because we already know about all of that. But anyway, backlash quickly erupted on social media with Tom Cook, who is challenging Lang in the state Senate, calling his comments dangerous and saying he won't stand for this type of rhetoric. Now, Republicans Against Trump posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, that Lang's comments were incredibly dangerous rhetoric. He knew it was before he said it. In fact, all of Trump's MAGA supporters know that they push this dangerous rhetoric, but they don't care. They continue to do it. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign also gave a statement to the Cincinnati Enquirer calling for Trump and Vance to apologize over the speaker's comments at their campaign rally. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are running a campaign openly sowing hatred and promising revenge against their political opponents. That's what the statement said. It goes on to say it's a feature, not a bug of their campaign and message to the American people. That's why a Republican official was empowered to predict a civil war while introducing these candidates. Trump and Vance pay lip service to unity, but their actions are more focused on dividing Americans than bringing us together. It's the polar opposite of everything Vice President Harris stands for. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance should denounce George Lang's calls for violence and apologize for platforming this kind of violence. Now, President Joe Biden also spoke out against Lang's remarks on social media while endorsing Harris and asking people to solve our problems with ballots, saying, folks, calls to violence threaten our democracy's foundation. This is what Biden said on X. You can't love your country only when you win. Now, Lang later took to X to apologize for his choice of words at the rally, saying that he regrets the divisive remarks. Sure, racist people always say they regret things when they get called out on it, but do they really? He says, remarks I made earlier today at a rally in Middletown do not accurately reflect my views. I regret the divisive remarks that I made in excitement of the moment on stage, especially in light of the assassination attempt on President Trump last week. We should all be mindful of what we say at political events, myself included. These people are something else. Okay, so we're supposed to take this as that he's really sorry and really feels remorseful for what he said, that he's wrong. Please sit down somewhere. Okay, both sides of the political aisle have called for rhetoric to be dialed down in the wake of the assassination attempt on Trump at a campaign rally on July the 13th. Now, after the shooting, Trump initially claimed he had a new focus on uniting the United States, but has quickly returned to attacking his rivals on Truth Social. Well, Trump can't help himself. That's just who he is. Now, Vance's spokesperson, Taylor Van Kirk, told the Enquirer that the vice president's candidate was glad that Lang apologized, saying Senator Vance agrees with President Trump that we need to unite the country, and he was glad to hear the state Senator Lang walk back those comments. What do you all think about it? Do you all think he's sorry? Because I don't. Okay, I don't. Remarks he made exactly reflecting his Jewish ethnicity. Exactly, beloved. That's what he did. Okay. Abdul Ali Muhammad says America is not a democracy, it's a republic with a bunch of laws. America is a hypocrisy. Right? You got that right. Not a democracy. Yeah, I absolutely agree, beloved. I absolutely agree. Okay. So with that all being said, stop telling people that America is a democracy. It's not. Do your research. You're absolutely right. Okay, Biden said, put Trump in a bullseye before attempted shooting. He absolutely did, Edward. Thank you for bringing that up because I did report on that. And that to me could have been a precursor to the attempted assassination. But see, they didn't want to talk about that. Nobody bothered to bring that up. Okay, G from the land said, I'm driving, but listening, Queen. All right, beloved. Now, so with that all being said, I just find it all nefarious. All of these people are getting into mudslinging matches, and here's the thing. What I'm going to be doing is sitting back, eating my popcorn, and watching the whole shit show, because that's what it is. You see, it's not only both sides going against each other, mudslinging already, digging up dirt on each other, but it's in fact their supporters. So the supporters are all in the melee. Now, this is unprecedented because, as you know, years ago, of course, we didn't have the internet and people weren't taking to social media to voice their angst and disdain and to give dog whistles on all of these things. But now that we have all of these different things in play, just sit back and watch it all go down. Okay, just watch it all go down. Now, in other salacious news, Trump's nephew, Fred Trump the Third, wrote a book. Okay, and in this book, he talks about his uncle, i.e. Donald Trump, using racist words, in fact, slurs. Okay, so let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, of course, Trump and his camp have denied this. But, you know, I didn't need Trump's nephew to tell me that Trump uses the N-word. I've always assumed that. He just didn't say it publicly like Biden did. That's the only difference. But anyway, likes up, everyone, please like and share. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hold on. Let me find my receipt. Okay, let me get this real quick. I hate misplaced receipts. Now, so the story is, he says that decades ago, someone did something to Trump's car. He had a convertible Cadillac Eldorado or something like that, right? And claims that someone put a gash in it and that Trump was very upset. He didn't know who did it, but that he immediately blamed it on black folk. Okay, blamed it on the jiggers. So let's talk about it. Here it is. Trump's nephew reportedly claims that he used the N-word in new book promising details of dark corner of the Trump empire. Now, this was reported yesterday. So former President Donald Trump's nephew, Fred Trump III, reportedly claims in his new book that's set to publish next week that he heard his uncle use the N-word back in the 1970s. That's the only time he heard him say it. Now, I want you to think about that. This is your uncle. You've been in his family since you were born, and you heard him say it back in the 70s? Sir, I'm pretty sure he likely said it more than that, but let me continue. So as Trump is set to challenge the first black woman on top of major party presidential ticket, this woman is not black. I'm going to show you some proof that she's not black in just a minute too, because it's really getting on my nerves. So Trump the Third writes that Trump used the slur in the early 1970s while raging about damage to his Cadillac convertible outside the home of his parents in Queens. According to an excerpt published Wednesday in The Guardian, he said, hold on. I was going to say ninjas, but I'm sure he used the hard R. So jiggers, I recall him saying disgustedly, look at what the jiggers did. Trump was pissed when he saw the gashes to his convertible top, and his mind then went straight to the place where people's minds sometimes go when they face a fresh affront. Across the racial divide, Trump III reportedly writes, he reportedly writes that he absolutely said it. Now, Trump III, who alongside his sister, Mary Trump, filed a lawsuit accusing the former president and his siblings of cutting them out of their grandfather's will after his death in 1999. Reportedly made the claim in his new book, All in the Family. Okay, the Trumps and how we got this way, set to publish on July the 30th. Now, the book shines a light on the darker corners of the Trump empire, according to a summary on publisher Simon & Schuster's website. Sounds to me like he's mad because they didn't get anything out of the deal. Because Mary, I remember her saying things about Trump too. Not saying that what they're saying isn't true, but it seems like the only reason they're saying all this stuff, because I'm sure they were fine with Trump using the N-word and saying anything else racist. Please pay attention. But now they're mad because Trump's not giving them any money. But let me continue. And so Trump's campaign spokesman, Steve Cheung, firmly denied the claims, calling them completely fabricated and totally fake news of the highest order. They really get me when they say, and Trump came up with this, I do believe. I've never heard anyone say it before him, but it's always interesting when they say that something's not true, and then they say, it's a lie, it's just fake news, and then they say, of the highest order. Like it can't get any worse than this. But anyway, goes on to say that anyone who knows President Trump knows he would never use such language. Really? I beg to differ. And false stories like this have been thoroughly debunked. Now, the book is set to be released just weeks after President Joe Biden dropped his re-election bid in a seismic shift in the presidential race. Trump is all but certain to face Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party's nominee, as the majority of delegates have pledged to support her and are excited or expected to officially vote to formalize the Democratic ticket during the first week of August. Now, Mary Trump has been a vocal critic of her uncle and published her own book, Too Much and Never Enough, also with Simon & Schuster, and which she accuses her uncle of being clearly racist. She's set to release another memoir this year about the life of her father, Fred Trump Jr., Trump's older brother, who died of a heart attack related to alcoholism at the age of 42. So Trump has repeatedly been accused of using the N-word on set of The Apprentice. Former producer Bill Pruitt said, was the latest to make claims in a Slate expose published in May after his non-disclosure agreement expired. Pruitt said that he witnessed Trump question whether America would buy an N winning when discussing a black finalist, Kwame Jackson, during the first season of the show in 2004. Jackson's fellow contestant, Omarosa Manigault Newman, has also said that she heard tapes of Trump using a racial slur to refer to Jackson multiple times during the show's filming, though the alleged tapes have never surfaced. Okay, Trump has vehemently denied the accusations. Here's the thing. If Omarosa heard Trump using the N-word, then she looks like a whole fool, because she was all chummy and buddy-buddy with Trump. Do y'all remember that? Yeah, she was Trump's bestie. Okay, until they fell out and he had her dragged from the White House by security. Okay, she was working with Trump. She was living up on Trump and all of that. So she needs to sit down somewhere, because, girl, if you knew that he said the N-word, why were you such good friends with him? Please make yourself make sense. Okay, so like I said, this is nothing new to me. I told you all before that Trump's, I'm sure he says it. We just haven't heard him say it like we heard Biden. So with that all being said, now let's talk about Kabami, because I'm so tired of people saying this woman's black. Let me just pull this up. This woman does not claim to be black until it's election time. Y'all need to stop it. Okay, I'm not even going to say what some of y'all are. But anyway, step, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, Pearlie said, LOL, exactly, Queen. Okay. Now look at this. Okay, this woman is not black, nor does she claim to be. Y'all see that? Y'all see that title? Please pay attention. Being Indian Americans today. Kamala Harris as vice president is a huge step forward in our national journey. This is January the 14th of 2021. And like I said, the problem isn't that she's Indian, because that doesn't bother me at all. The fact is that she lies and tries to feign herself or present herself as if she's black when it's time for election. Like she's insulting our intelligence, okay, as if we're fools. Now, as we approach January 20th, inauguration day for President-elect Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris is the perfect time, or it's the perfect time to consider what this means for the Indian diaspora across the U.S. Say what now? A drive for achievement and success is quintessential as a quintessential Indian American trait. Indian American trait. Okay, but now they want to call her African American. I just want y'all to pay attention. Okay, implanted in our brains by parents who preach the benefits of education, while traditionally this was largely in medicine, engineering, and related scientific and technical disciplines. It's heartening to observe the next generation of Indian American kids, not little black kids. She's not trying to be here as a role model for your kids. Okay, please pay attention. Now, they have broken loose in liberal arts and entertainment and hopefully are about to burst through in a big way on the political screen. Before some of you sit there and try to say and justify the bullshit by saying, oh, well, she's black and Indian, so this is just her Indian side. Please sit down somewhere. Go find me an article where she is allowing them to say that she's black and African American and all of that prior to any type of election campaign. Okay, I dare you. With that all being said, it all talks about Indian Americans throughout this publication, because that's what she is and that's what she represents. And if she did not, then she would never have allowed them to publish that. Okay, please pay attention. And then here is another one, just so you know. Okay, because don't sit here. Y'all can sit here and call this one whatever you want to. It's what she identifies as. All right, the rise of the Indian American candidate. How Kamala Harris and a new generation are changing the face of politics. All right. I'm sorry. Say what? Yeah. All right. Kamala Harris. It's in the last 6 years, nearly 80 candidates made it on the ballot, soaring far beyond numbers seen in past elections. Leading the wave are successful candidates from California like Kamala Harris, who rose from a Senate seat to become vice president. Thanks to long-standing immigration pipeline to the U.S. Indian Americans that have become one of the country's fastest growing ethnic groups. Y'all still want to call this lady black and sit there and fool your little silly selves? Is that what you really want to do, black folk? Yeah, well, go right ahead. Okay, go right ahead and make fools out of yourselves and try to just vote for this woman just because you think she's black. Okay, go right ahead and do it. Go right ahead and do it. Now, before I continue, let's have a word from my sponsor. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Want healthier, stronger, shinier hair? Tired of products that don't work for coily or kinky hair? Meet 12 Tribes, the vegan hair care line designed for you. Our products are made with love for your gorgeous coils. We offer hair growth butters, oils, shampoos, and hairsprays. These products help your hair grow long, thick, and shiny. Imagine a hair care line that's 100% vegan and perfect for coily hair. No more guessing if it's really going to work for you. Our butters are rich and nourishing, feeding every strand. Our oils are lightweight but powerful, sealing in moisture without greasy residue. Shampoos and butters leave your hair clean and soft, never stripped. What sets us apart? Our dedication to your hair's needs. No harsh chemicals, just effective, natural ingredients. And the results speak for themselves. Start your journey to healthier, shinier hair today. Visit our Etsy shop, Lisa Crafts. Click the link in the description below. Give your hair the care it deserves. Join our satisfied customers and see the difference.
All right. So now let's talk about what one of the members of the Central Park Five, Dr. Yusuf Salaam, had to say about Trump when he made those accusations against them. Hold on, beloveds. Likes up. Everyone, please like and share. And I'm going to put up an overlay because this is a TikTok video. But nonetheless, it is still from an interview. So I'm going to put an overlay on the screen. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
In the press for years and years and years, due in large part to that infamous ad that Donald Trump took out in the major New York newspapers calling for the death sentence to be reinstated after your arrest. To this day, he's never apologized. In fact, he's even doubled down in recent years. What was it like for you to watch this man who spent years demonizing you be elevated to the highest office in the land?
I can't even describe in words what it was like. The worst, I mean, I was awakened to the American nightmare. when I was 15. And I constantly keep going deeper into darker holes and caverns. I mean, we're in America. We're in a place where migrants have traveled to seek freedom, justice, and equality. And for a person who came out when I was 15 with such vitriol, we became the poster children of deviance.
Yeah.
They looked at us and judged us by it. And I think when you really understand what Donald Trump's ad is, it's not an ad that was just ran in New York City's newspapers.
No.
This ad was created, was thought of, was greenlit, and then 2 weeks after we were accused, it was placed in New York City's newspapers. You have to remember that they also published our names, phone numbers, and addresses in New York City's newspapers.
Yeah.
So what this ad really was, and still is, it was a whisper into the most sadistic, darkest enclaves of society.
Yes.
To do to us what they had done to Emmett Till. That's what that ad was.
Councilman, you then did something kind of beautiful many years later. So after Trump's first indictment last year, you drew inspiration from that very ad, and you wrote your own, and you said in it in part, even though 34 years ago, you, Donald Trump, effectively called for my death, the death of 4 innocent children, I wish you no harm. I hope that you exercise your civil liberties to the fullest, that you get what the exonerated 5 did not, a presumption of innocence and a fair trial. Where the hell did that kind of grace come from?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
God.
So I had to learn that while I was going through what I was going through, I could either go through it or I could grow through it. If I had just gone through it, I would be enraged. I would be angry. I would be upset. We sued for $50 million each.
Yeah.
They gave us $41 million total. And our attorneys, of course, they took the third off the top. So it's not like we got anywhere near what we sued for. So as I was growing through what I was going through, I realized something really important. You have to forgive those who harmed you. Because if you move through life without forgiveness, you carry all of the weight of the ball and chain into every single room with you.
Okay, so with that all being said, I disagree with that part. I absolutely disagree with that part. Sorry. I don't agree that you have to forgive people who harm you. I don't forgive people for shite. Okay, you do something to me, I'm going to do something right back. That's how petty I am. And quite frankly, I don't worry about balls and chains because it doesn't make me feel bad that I don't forgive low down nefarious people. Okay, with that all being said, somebody said, Queen, drop the link for Kamala Harris defenders. Honey, I don't have time for them today. I have a whole nother live coming up. I don't have time for fools. Okay, I don't have time for foolishness. That's what I don't have. Now, but that all been said, if they don't like what I'm saying, get out of the chat, period. You don't have to watch this video. There's thousands of other YouTubers. Go watch them. If you're mad about what I'm saying about Kabami, okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all been said, let's talk about Fox News because they're clearly upset and pressed about Trump. And they're scrambling. So let's get into it. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. What are they worried about? I have several questions, Fox News. Okay.
We have no time. And we also have a record of the Biden-Harris administration that a lot of people are really proud of. And she is the heir to that record. And the Trump team, they will try to run against that. But she's come armed, not with a knife, but with the kind of guns that she needs to talk about what's gone on with the economy, to talk about what they've done in terms of producing more oil than ever in history, what they're doing to expand Medicaid, capping insulin $35, et cetera. And you're seeing the public react. It's not just Democrats, it's swing voters as well. I mean, $100 million in donations, 1.1 million unique donors, 62% are first-time donors. A lot of the big donors, except for one, I think, notably, but are back in. Reed Hastings just gave $7 million. He was one of the first ones to call on Biden to drop out. Should also say that Trump's path to winning was running through getting many more Gen Z voters and many more Black voters. The CBS numbers of Gen Z 62 to 37, Kamala advantage, and there were organizing calls for Black women and Black men. Over 40,000 people were on each of those calls.
Got it. Queen of the Democrats. It took only 36 hours for Kamala Harris to lock down enough delegates to become the presumptive Democratic nominee, and doing so without earning a single primary vote. Kamala keeping the momentum going, speaking to a crowd of 3,000 supporters in battleground Wisconsin. It was her first official rally, and Harris took the fight right to Donald Trump.
You all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules.
Okay, I cut that off because we already heard that yesterday. I played that same audio of her. Now, with that all being said, for the Kamala defenders, you can defend her all you want. These are just my views and opinions. So I really don't care what you think, nor should you care what I think. Everyone has opinions and are entitled to them. At the end of the day, even if Kamala is Black, let's just say that she is. The bottom line is she hasn't done a damn thing for Black people, and nor does she plan to. She told you that to your faces when she said, no, so I'm not going to sit here and say I'm just going to do anything specifically for the Black community. I'm not going to sit here and say that. That's what she said. And she put Black people in prison and wanted to leave them there past the time that they were supposed to spend. And second of all, there's an innocent man who came out and spoke about how she wrongly convicted him and wanted to leave him there to languish, even though she had information and proof that he didn't do it. All right, so please sit down somewhere. You can defend all you want, but can you debunk what I just said? I'm sure you can't. Now, let's continue. All right, I said what I said. If you're mad, you know what to do. All right, and so here's the thing. They have criticized Obama because Obama has not come out and endorsed Kabami. All right, he has not come out and endorsed her. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, here's what they say. Democrat trashes Barack Obama for not endorsing Kamala Harris. It's truly sad. A Democratic activist has criticized former President Barack Obama for not endorsing Kamala Harris as the party's presidential candidate, saying President Obama didn't help President Biden when he needed him the most. Now he noticeably didn't endorse Vice President Harris. It's truly sad when our heroes let you down. Biden withdrew his re-election bid on Sunday following weeks of mounting pressure from within his own party. He was quick to endorse his vice president to replace him at the top of the ticket, and a large number of elected Democrats followed suit. However, some top Democrats have remained notably silent on Harris's candidacy, including Obama. Obama released a statement praising Biden's presidential achievements and applauding his decision to withdraw from the race, saying Joe Biden has been one of America's most consequential presidents, as well as a dear friend and partner to me. We will be navigating uncharted waters in the days ahead, but I have extraordinary confidence that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges. Okay, that's what he said. Newsweek reached out to the Obama Foundation for comment via email. Now, in an email Sunday afternoon, a source familiar with the Obama said, just like he did in 2020, once Joe Biden earned the nomination, President Obama believes that he will be uniquely positioned to help unite the party once we have a nominee and lift up that candidate and do everything he can do to get that candidate elected in November. Other top Democratic figures who have not yet endorsed Harris are former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Behind the scenes, Pelosi is advocating for an open process in order to avoid the appearance of Harris having been anointed. Not anointed, honey. Who is she? Now, Democratic Senator Peter Welch said that the party should have an open process so that whoever or our nominee is, including Kamala, has the strength of having a process that shows the consensus position of the party. Now, Representative Zoe Lofgren also told MSNBC that she supported the idea of a mini primary in which former President Obama and Bill Clinton could help vet potential candidates. I said, I don't think we can do a coronation, but obviously the vice president would be the leading candidate, Lofgren said. Now, the party now faces two options. Hold on, this looks like a typo. Oh, anyway, they say a candidate before the Democratic National Convention or hold an open convention starting August the 19th, a scenario that hasn't been seen since 1968. And that's the one I told you all about with Lyndon B. Johnson. Now, Harris has thanked Biden for endorsing her and has said she intends to earn and win this nomination. All right, so now what do you all think about that? What do you all think about that? I mean, the fact that Obama, hold on. And here's what a source also said. This was reported by the New York Post. Obama doesn't believe that Kamala Harris can beat Trump, which is why he hasn't endorsed her. Now, this is alleged because this is what a source says. I don't know about these sources, but this is what they told the New York Times. They said, or New York Post, former President Barack Obama hasn't endorsed Kamala Harris's presidential bid because he doesn't think she can beat Donald Trump, according to a source close to the Biden family. Okay, following President Biden's shocking exit from the race on Sunday and his immediate endorsement of the vice president, most of the Democratic elite have been quick to rally behind Harris, but Obama is a notable exception. They say Obama's very upset because he knows that she can't win. This is what the Biden family source said. Now, they say that Obama knows that she's just incompetent. The border czar, who never visited to the border, saying that all migrants should have health insurance, she can't navigate the landmines that are ahead of her. And so when you're running for president, there are things that you can and can't say. The turning point for Biden, who's 81, came after his disastrous performance against Trump in a televised debate in Atlanta last month, which was part of an elaborate setup to remove him from the race. But the source doesn't have high hopes for the TV debate between Trump and Harris. When Biden was still in the race, a second debate was scheduled for September the 10th. Now, it goes on to say that wait until the debate. She can't debate. She's going to put her foot in her mouth about Israel, Palestine, and Ukraine. She's going to say something really stupid. I don't know where they get all this from, how they know. Now, Obama knew this was going to happen. Joe knew this was going to happen. Now she's going to have to answer real questions. Now, the White House did not respond to the Post request for comment on this story. The White House didn't respond. So that speaks volumes. Please pay attention. Now, according to the source, Obama's hope was to get Biden out of the way. Okay. And they also talk about the letter or whatever that was written by George Clooney in the New York Times, asking him to step aside and saying that was part of the plan. However, the higher ups in the Democratic Party didn't count on Biden endorsing Harris right away. And Obama was shocked, okay, when the president endorsed her. This is what the insider says. Don't hate the messenger. After Biden's ouster, Obama, who did not return a request for comment on Wednesday. Okay, so Obama clearly knows that this story is out here because they asked him about it after they got the information from the insider. And Obama didn't return their comment. He didn't return the request for comment. Now, it goes on to say Obama, who did not return a request for comment on Wednesday, wanted Arizona Senator and former astronaut Mark Kelly to be at the top of the ticket when the Democratic National Convention is held next month, according to the source. They said Obama was furious that things haven't gone his way, which is why he's not joining the Democratic Party's support of Harris. Now, another well-placed Democratic source says that Obama being surprised by a smart political decision actually makes sense when coupled with his personal inability to see politics beyond his singular immediate interest. Clearly throwing shade. Obama always thinks that he's the smartest and coolest guy in the room. He's friends with George Clooney after all. That's what someone said. And so Rod Blagojevich, the disgraced former governor of Illinois, who denounced Obama as a threat to democracy in a Wall Street Journal on Tuesday, told the Post that he believes Obama was instrumental to getting Biden out of the race. Blagojevich says a former Democrat who is now supporting he's a former Democrat who's now supporting Trump. He was once governor of Illinois when Obama became the state senator in 2005. He said if Biden's departure from the race couldn't have happened with, he says Biden's departure from the race couldn't have happened without him, talking about Obama. This is what he told the New York Post. He says, without Obama, Biden is still the Democratic nominee. Obama was the conductor leading the orchestra that convinced Biden to step down. Obama ended his role as Illinois senator when he was elected president in 2008, while Blagojevich was impeached in 2009 for attempting to sell Obama's vacant Senate seat, removed from office and convicted on corruption charges a year later. Okay, Obama persuading Biden not to run for the presidency in 2016 in order to allow Hillary a shot at the White House has also since been a sticking point between them. Okay, yeah, because you all probably know that Joe Biden actually wanted to run in 2016, and he would have been going against Trump then. And but Hillary ended up running. Okay, so Mr. Elevation said, "What's Obama sipping on?" Edward says, "Obama, he's the surprise. He's the surprise. No worries." Mel Will says they would never allow Michelle Obama to go against Trump if she does. All right. Mac Q says, "I'm surprised when I see women not supporting her. All she talk about is abortion rights." Well, I don't agree with abortion. I don't agree with abortion. And I specifically don't agree with abortion for Black women. They put those clinics in Black neighborhoods. They've always done it. It was initially called the Negro Project by Margaret Sanger, who came up with it and who said that Black people are like weeds and need to be exterminated. So no, I don't agree with abortion. That's just another form of genocide and depopulation, in my opinion. Okay, so if Kamala's always talking about that, well, that's another reason for me to dislike her politics. All right, to dislike her politics. Now, with that all being said, what do you all think about this? Okay, what do you all have to say about it? Do you think that this is just all, a load of BS? Michelle isn't interested in running for president, says Nessa G. I agree. I was just about to say that. Yeah, I don't think Michelle's interested at all. Goodness Rated Bo said, well, let's see. White women usually don't support Black women. Well, they usually don't. But when it came to them overturning Roe v. Wade, they were asking for our support. And I didn't give any because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not down for abortions. Okay. Nanny says, did you hear they don't want any more charismatic presidents allegedly due to severe envy of JFK, even posthumously, and Obama? Yet again, they want Obama's energy to help the stalemate. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. And I really don't care because at the end of the day, there's nobody running for president that has any charisma other than Dr. Sheep, as far as I'm concerned. The rest of them need to sit down somewhere. Abra said, it's still a no for me on this one, Queen. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Okay. Toxic therapist said abortion is a safe haven for whores. Anyway, with that all been said, now let's talk about Diddy, and then I'm out of here because I have another broadcast starting right after this. Okay, so I reported to you all days ago how Diddy's name was mentioned 77 times by prosecutors' filings. Okay, in a new document as it pertains to the Keefe D situation. Now, mind you, he's going to trial November the 4th, which is also Diddy's birthday, and I find that interesting. And we already know, I told you, and I played the audio for you, how Keefe D. Davis was implicating Diddy in the death of Tupac, saying that Diddy offered to pay $1 million and that the money was given to Eric Zip Martin, who took the money and eventually opened up a restaurant, did a myriad of things or whatever. But here's the interesting thing. And so TMZ comes out and this is what they say. Tupac murder case. Prosecutors cite alleged Diddy offer to kill Pac. Keefe D's wild claims to cops. Now, they say wild claims. Now, I want you to pay attention to that because when they say wild claims, they're trying to imply or insinuate that the claims are not true, that they have no validity. Please pay attention because TMZ loves to paint narratives, in my opinion. Now, here's what they go on to say. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ Diddy was never a suspect in the Tupac murder investigation, and that remains true till this day. He says Diddy was never a suspect. In other words, it's clear cops weren't buying Keffe D, what Keffe D was selling about Puff, and didn't deem his claims as credible. So the guy charged with Tupac's murder should not be released on bail because he once alleged that Diddy offered him 7 figures to kill Pac. At least that's the case prosecutors are making to the judge. Okay, so if the prosecutors are making this case to the judge that he's a danger because he was offered money and he accepted the money, okay, supposedly, how is Diddy not a suspect if he's the one that's accused of giving him the money? What is TMZ talking about? Hold on, because there's more. So here's the deal. Dwayne Keffe D. Davis has been behind bars in Nevada since his arrest for the Tupac slaying, but he's asking the judge to let him out pending his trial. Now, prosecutors filed their opposition, arguing Davis should remain behind bars in part because of the 2009 statement that he made to cops, alleging that Diddy offered him $1 million to take out Tupac. Now, during the convo, audio of which has been all over the internet, Keffe D told Vegas detectives Diddy had made personal contact with him and his cohorts, saying he would be willing to pay to have Tupac taken out by someone on the streets, which Keffe D says he took to mean him and his crew. Now, basically, Keffe D allegedly told cops that he and his crew were hanging around Diddy one night when he said in front of a large group he'd give anything to see Suge Knight dead, implying that he'd pay top dollar for the murder without naming an exact amount. Remember, they said it was about 45 people in the room, okay, the other report that I read. So Keffe also told cops after Tupac was murdered, he reached out to Diddy through a mutual friend to try to get paid, but said he never did get the dough. Prosecutors argue that at the very last minute, the admission of Keffe D shows that he's the kind of person who would consider murdering someone for cash and therefore remains a menace to society in their eyes. So they don't want him released. Diddy has on multiple occasions denied that he had anything to do with Tupac's murder or that he offered money for someone to take him out. Also worth noting, there's no indication that there's any kind of active investigation into Diddy based on Keffe's years-old claims. The judge has yet to rule on Davis's release. Now, this is what TMZ reported, which I find interesting. Okay, but let's talk about it because here's what a former detective said. Now, this is an old article, but here's what this detective, and I want to say it was Detective Greg Kading. I've talked about him a myriad of times when I've discussed the death of Tupac and Biggie, okay, because he was a key player in it. And so here's what he said. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but hold on, beloveds. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, now, a retired LAPD detective claims both murder cases were solved years ago. Using audio taped interrogations as well as statements from a former investigator, a documentary released on iTunes attempts to solve one of hip-hop's oldest mysteries. Who is responsible for the murders of rappers Tupac Shakur and Christopher the Notorious B.I.G. Wallace? Okay, now, the film entitled Murder Rap by filmmaker Mike Dorsey features retired Los Angeles Police Department detective Greg Kading, who says that media mogul Sean Diddy Combs, one of Biggie Smalls' closest confidants, took out a hit on Tupac and his manager, Marion Suge Knight. In retaliation, Kading says Knight paid somebody to kill Wallace. Now, however, a source close to Combs claims Kading's accusations are baseless, saying there's no truth to the allegations. Kading also insists the murders were solved long ago by the Los Angeles Police Department. I find this all interesting. Kading alleges that detectives learned that Diddy Combs had allegedly hired a Crips gang member named Dwayne Keffe D. Davis to kill Shakur and Knight. Combs allegedly agreed to pay Davis $1 million for the hit, according to Kading. Now, on the night of September the 7th of 1996, Kading claims Keefe D's nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, gunned down Shakur in Las Vegas. Okay, Knight survived the attack. According to Kading, Knight subsequently hired Bloods gang members Wardell Poochie Faust to kill Biggie in retaliation for $13,000. Biggie was murdered on March 9th of 1997. So with that all being said, now, Kading alleges in an interview with People that Los Angeles authorities decided not to charge Combs, partly because of his celebrity. They also declined to pursue the case more than 5 years ago because both of the suspected gunmen were dead, having died in unrelated events or incidents. Suge Knight hired someone to go after Smalls because he'd heard Biggie was in Los Angeles and provided the gun to the Crips, which was erroneous information. Now, that's what Kading also said. Kading believes that prior to the murders, Combs was under the impression that Suge Knight was trying to have him killed because Knight believed that Combs had something to do with the murder of one of Knight's friends. Combs was in a precarious situation. He knew he was being hunted down in Los Angeles, and he knew Suge Knight held him responsible for the murder of one of his friends. At that point, Suge had already accosted a producer to find out where Combs' house was in Los Angeles. Combs, according to Kading, was in a state of desperation and knew that if he didn't take matters into his own hands, he might have been the one murdered. It was a preemptive strike. Now, a number of music industry and hip-hop insiders confirm that rumors of Diddy's alleged involvement in the killings have swirled for years. But in the same breath, these same insiders were quick to point out the existence of other rumors, which all finger other potential suspects. Now, a spokesperson for the Los Angeles Police Department says that agency will not be issuing any comments on the contents of Murder Rap. The detectives assigned to Biggie's homicide case were not available for interviews. Okay, so I'm telling you all right here, this doesn't sound anything like what TMZ said. TMZ said that Diddy was never a suspect, that he was never investigated, that even to this day he isn't. Well, I find that interesting because how did they just say his name 77 times in the court filings by prosecutors days ago? And why is it that former detective Kading, Greg Kading, says that the only reason Diddy wasn't arrested in the first place all those years ago is because of his celebrity, amongst other things? Now, I don't put too much stake in the part where he said Suge Knight paid to have Biggie killed in retaliation. That was the rumor for years. But I feel like Diddy had something to do with that. When we look at all the other evidence that came from people like Gene Deal and then other things that align and add up, it looks like Diddy had something to do with Biggie's death as well. Okay. But Just Anticipate said Diddy probably paid TMZ. I mean, to be honest with you, that's what it sounds like. I'm not saying he did, but that's what it sounds like. Now, why are they changing the tune all of a sudden? Diddy is absolutely was never a suspect in the slaying of Tupac. Wild claims by Keefe D is what they say. What? When was he not a suspect? Okay, and so with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And as always, beloveds, I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I love you to life too, Juju. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so now here's the link to the live that I'm about to start in the backup channel because we have updates. Okay, we got to talk about Sonia Massey, what the cops said about her after he took her life, and also we have to talk about DeAndre Cottrell because I have some updates on that story. Okay, so that all been said, and also a 12-year-old was assaulted by some teens in Harlem. So we're going to talk about all of that on the backup channel. So everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got